Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Scotty. Want to talk about something today that I think about on a daily basis. It's a quote that is true to my heart, and I had a call yesterday that reminded me about it. Nice support call talking about trusting the unknown, and that's what kind of led me to something that I remember on a daily basis is to trust the process. Right now, what does that mean? When you trust the process, not everything you can't know everything, you can't control everything. And to be honest, you can't control almost anything. But there are things you can control, and you got to control what you can control. But a lot of the times in our mind, we think we can control everything. We think we know everything. We think we've got all these things figured out. That I know better, and let me show you the ways, right? Um, but sometimes we're humbled. We're humbled real quick on that. Put in our place, whatever phrase you want to come up with. But when I think about trusting the process, for me, it means making those footsteps, seeing those doors. Doors may open, and I've recently had multiple doors open, and I've actually walked through a few, and then the rug was pulled out. So sometimes that may be the door, the big number, or the great stuff, or something going on, and that's not the direction. Sometimes you do have to walk through that door to fall in that hole, and then get picked back up, brush yourself off, and again, trust the process. I think it was a meme or I saw the other day. It just shows a man walking up a set of stairs, right? Each stair said failure, 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 right? But he got to the top. The top said success. And what does that look like to everybody? It could be different. It could be money, it could be family, it could be health, many different things, right? That's your definition of success. I know my definition of success, right? But having gone through those failures and trusting that process, that the success will come, whatever that looks like to you. The success will be there. And then each of those failures, if you would have gone up 2, 3 steps and said, hey, you know what? I'm just going to go back down. You know, sometimes that door may be enticing to go back or to do something you're familiar with, comfortable with. But sometimes you're called for something else, right? And it's trusting that process to move forward. But I remember when anything's happening that you may deem bad, negative, wrong, nothing, here's a quote, right? Nothing happens to you. It happens for you, regardless of what that is. Physical, non-physical, spiritual, whatever growth you're going through is meant to be there. Whatever obstacle you have, it's there for a reason. Don't look at it as why did this happen to me. Go, why did this happen? What am I learning? What am I going to take from this experience? And how am I going to move forward? When you can see it in the moment, I'll tell you, I'm not, yeah, give me in the moment, and I'll still have my moments, right? You're like, but it's okay to have those, right? But reflect on those. Know that you're trusting that process to move forward and trusting the unknown. None of us know what's around the corner. You may think you do. You may be down that corner. Do you know what's down that corner today, tomorrow, in the future? So just trust. And what does that look like to you? Does it look like the universe, God, uh, uh, whatever that looks like to you? Just trust the process. Trust the process of life, and always move forward. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.